Stone Soup, a cell phone fairy tale by Angela Dobson, Candace Mason, and Johnny Jabbour. There once was a poor traveling gnome who was very, very hungry. While on a long journey, the hungry gnome stopped at a small town, hoping that the townspeople would be willing to share some food with her. The gnome went from house to house asking for food that anyone could spare, and in exchange she would entertain them. Yet at every house she got the same answer. We can barely feed ourselves. We have nothing to spare. The poor gnome trudged along the road not far from the town. She was so hungry and weak that she sat by a tree to rest. She looked over and saw a stone shaped like a large mushroom. Then she had a great idea. The hungry gnome remembered that the first house had a young girl that answered the door. She thought for a second and decided to shift into someone that the girl could not say no to. Justin Bieber! Oh my goodness, the gnome performed her bit and then asked the girl if she could spare a few potatoes. And of course, she could not refuse. It was Justin Bieber. The gnome walked to the next house and thought for a second on who this neighbor couldn't resist. Then it hit her. This person was a little older, and who better to charm her than
Presley.
Elvis Presley.
Well, it's the one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready. Now go, cat, go. Step on my blue suede. You can do anything for me, all from up the blue suede.
Naturally, the woman could not resist giving the gnome a few carrots. The next home was run by a gentleman, and so this required a lot of thought. As the gnome walked over, she realized that there were many choices, but one stood out. Sofia Vergara. The neighbor seemed like he was part of a modern family, and so was she. The man would have given anything to help, so he gave the gnome some green onions, some garlic, and some celery. The gnome was getting more and more tired. She needed to make the next house count. All she needed was a few more items. Who could she change into that would be the one person that no one could resist? I got it, the gnome thought to herself. President Obama, of course.